What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We are back at it here with another Dynasty Mode series episode. And if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We've got a big episode here today as we are going to go ahead and get into the Duke's Mayo Classic Bowl against Vanderbilt, the Commodores of Vanderbilt, as well as figure out what we're going to do with the job offer in which we do currently have. And looking at that, right off the hop, it is with North Texas, and I'm honestly wanting to possibly pass on that job after actually talking with some of you guys in the comments and chat. It's going to be a tough decision because I do want to be a head coach, but also at the same time, I want a better role or a better school. Our prestige is a D+, and I'm wondering if we go about winning the bowl game against Vanderbilt, if that will increase our prestige, which would possibly increase our odds of getting a better job, which, looking at the jobs out there, as of right now, it does look like there are only head coaching offers out there, because when we look at all openings, it does look like there's only head coach. Because when we filter offensive and defensive coordinator, it does look like there is a defensive coordinator position open. We don't want that. But looking at this, it does look like there are a bunch of head coaching options out there. It's just a matter of if we can actually make that happen. So we're going to go ahead and get into the bowl game here against Vanderbilt, see if we can win it, and then make our final decision when it comes to the coaching position right after the game. Coach being a little aggressive on the play calls. And I'm actually going to go all goes because I do feel like something might open up here with an opportunity. We're actually going to hit the check down to our boy Kobe Pace, who's going to get a nice little spin move and additional yards to make a nice little first down gain up to 2nd and 2. Go stretch on this play. Xavier Brown is the back here. 2nd and goal. We have the blocks, and it is a free touchdown here. Let's hope we can hit the gritty with Xavier Brown. First points of the bowl game here in Charlotte, North Carolina against Vanderbilt. And honestly, their defense doesn't seem like it should be too hard, but again, you never know. We got to keep playing to the best we can in order to upgrade our coach prestige, or at least hope to. 2nd and 5 as the first quarter is running out of time. We're going to run the stretch play and actually go up the middle there with our boy Xavier Brown. I love him as a running back, but that's the end of the first quarter. It is 7-3 here in this bowl game. We've got a 3rd and 13. One of our runs got blown up, so we're running our post drive. And Neville should be open, but we don't have enough time. So we're going to have to go for the field goal on this one. The wind isn't too terrible. We just need to dial this in with the bar. We've got enough juice. And that is down the middle, splitting the uprights to give us a 10-3 lead for the time being. Inside zone action here with Kobe, and we're actually going to run to the outside. We have some room. He can't get there, but a big run there from our boy Kobe Pace, playing in his last game as a Cavalier. And we're actually going to finish off this drive with Xavier Brown getting into the end zone once again for the score against the Commodores of Vanderbilt, and that is going to pad our lead, but we're not going to sit back and relax. We're going to continue to drive on Vanderbilt and put up the points in this game. I've post once again. We need some yardage in order to get into field goal range, and that's probably not going to be enough with 1 second left on the clock. Are we going to be able to go for the field goal, 56-yard field goal? Let's see if we've got the leg. It's against the wind, too. That's a good kick. It's up. Is it enough? It's good. That's a big-time kick from the kicker. And we'll take that heading into half. It is 20-10 here in Charlotte. Let's hope up front we can get a push, because that would be quite embarrassing. It does look like we've got a push, and we are into the end zone. Kobe Pace is going to hit that gritty on the Commodores as we take a bigger lead in this game and take advantage of a mistake from Vanderbilt to get us even closer to winning our first bowl game, which should be able to auto-run the clock, and we are able to get the Duke's Mayo Bowl victory, 27-24, a little bit closer than I had anticipated. but hopefully that should boost our coach's prestige up enough for us to get a better job opportunity. It is going to be a risk, but I think we are going to pass on the North Texas job, because at the end of the day, if we need to come back for another season at UVA, I think there are worse things in the world. But break out the mayo. We're going to be doused in it. We are the Duke's Mayo Classic champions. So here we are back on the home screen, guys. We are going to pass on the job in hopes that we do get a better opportunity here in week 3. And that is our team right now. 9-4 is the season finisher for us with the bowl game victory. 11th in the ACC, which is quite sad to see, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and check out well, first, before we check out the coaching carousel, let's see. It did boost our coach prestige up to a C- winning that bowl game. The bigger question is now, did we get a better opportunity? Ooh, we don't have any head coaching offers. Are there any offensive coordinators? Nope. All openings. We might have to come back to UVA, guys. Let's go ahead and simulate it another week and see if we get lucky, question mark. That's kind of a bummer. I was really not wanting to be at UVA again for another season, but I guess if we need to come back to UVA and try again, that's what it looks like is going to happen. So we're going to stick at UVA for another season, guys. Staff moves. It is what it is. Quite disappointed that we didn't get a better head coaching offer for what we really wanted. And we got a new head coach, it looks like, as well. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But let's go ahead and simulate forward and see what the recruiting and everything looks like as well. We do have a couple players looking at possibly leaving, and one of them is one of our better defending players, Cam Robinson. We're going to try to persuade him to stay, and he has decided to stay, which is really nice. I'm not as butthurt if this receiver leaves, but he is going to stay as well. So we do get some pretty key players back in the squad who were going to transfer out. So it does look like the head coach was able to put the final class together, and it looks like UVA, not a great class, down in 47th in the country when it comes to the recruiting class. Not great, but we'll have to work with the team with what we've got and see what we can do. We do have 10 points as well to spend on our coach. And looking at it, we could boost our recruiting a little bit more, and that's exactly what we're going to do on the offensive side of the ball for when we do eventually become a head coach. Our recruiting will be in a very good spot, so that does give me a little more positives to look forward to. And I might have spoken too soon, because we now have 40 total points to work with. We are up to level 13. And our training results are in. I do want to go by position. Calandria up to an 81 overall, which is very nice to see. Xavier Brown, who's going to be the starting running back this year, is up to an 83 overall. Wide receivers, we've got Dakota Twitty, as well as our boy Green Jr., who was great last season, up in the 80s. We are down to 2 tight ends, and one of them is Carson Gay. Quite an interesting name. He's only a 77 overall. Offensive line does look like it's going to be fairly okay. Center position is a little weak. Right tackle is a little weak as well. Defensively, high 70s, an 80 at the right end position. Defensive tackle, 79. Left outside linebacker position is a little weak. Middle linebackers, Cam Robinson, now up to an 87 overall as a true junior, which is quite awesome to see. Right outside linebacker, pretty weak. Corners are pretty solid. Free safety, 80. Strong safety, 80 as well. So the team is looking very good. We've got 40 points to also utilize as our coach in order to whether we want to continue on upgrading our recruiting, or even better yet, we could go about purchasing our first other skill tree, and at that point we would only really be able to get either motivator, which when we look at that is going to basically get some off-season boosts as well as staying hot during the games, which I suppose is quite nice, or a tactician, which gives player boosts during games. And looking at our other coaches, we already technically have a scheme guru, and the head coach is a master motivator. So honestly, I'm really intrigued about just continuing on with our recruiting, but let me know down in the comments if we should pick either motivator or tactician as our next tree to kind of go down for a route, as opposed to just sticking with recruiting, because we are in a good spot right now. We could start to sort of round ourselves out, obviously, this season as we lead up to hopefully getting a head coaching job next season. So here's our schedule for next season, guys. We've got Coastal Carolina, we've got JMU, which we will actually go to JMU, FCS Northwest, Rice, Louisville, Oregon State, Wake Forest, Syracuse, SMU, Stanford, Georgia Tech, and Virginia Tech to close out the season. But for some reason, our schedule keeps getting screwed up, so I am not going to do that. And what I will actually do is the schedule that they are giving us, and we've got a bunch of buys early in the season. Rice, Coastal Carolina, Oregon State, Washington State is in there, so I guess we're going to have to go with that schedule because they won't let us go with any other schedule. So we are getting into the season, and that is how we are going to start Season 2 of this Dynasty series, guys. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. If you guys enjoyed this video, we're not going to be playing any games in this new season here today, but that's going to be it for this one, and we will see you guys in the next episode for Season 2.